Let's works a bit better. Okay, we are here to do the energy for Pisces for September 2020. We're here. I'm telling you, clear your houses, peeps. We've got Neptune and Pisces retrograde currently. I'm just finding in the divination book the ruin that I've selected for you guys for this month, which I don't think I've had this one before. I'm starting to know them off by heart, which will be handy because I can go, I was testing it last night with Giggle and I knew the ruin off by heart. How are we all anyway? I'll be 5 and we'll get straight into your read. Now, we do have Mars going retrograde. Oh, that'll be right. Okay. Let's pull a crystal for you guys. I usually do pick crystals. Energetically and psychically, I tend to know what crystal you're going to need. Hi, Eddie. So the ruin you have is linked to Raven, which is making perfect sense because I have been seeing a lot of Ravens. We also, between now, hi Giggle, do have Pluto going direct the following month, I believe, October 4th. It's transiting. Keep an eye out for that. So anything at a psychic level or an energetic 3D level that you need to tie up in a sense of loose ends, shared resources, finances, tax, paperwork, bookkeeping, your contracts, get all of those things in order because it can be very karmic in nature. Now, we did move away from the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn in May. However, at a karmic level, I have seen, because I've said this to all my clientele as well, when you are moving forward, we have the nodes currently in Sagittarius and Gemini. Themes to do with unfinished business of Cancer have been there, and that's your family, your emotions, your tribe, purgatory experiences. So because we had Venus in Cancer last month and moving into a little bit of September, it's still that residue energy. Any aspect to Cancer for the rest of the year, please pay attention to. So for you guys, Pisces, it links to your luck. It links to children. It links to birth and, you starting new things. So yes, at the moment, those themes have been coming up. Yeah, it's due to the energy of Cancer because Cancer relates to family and home and the collective energy. So yes, last month, plus we had Aries and Chiron retrograde. You're very tired. More things come at you at a karmic level because they're unfinished business. It needs to be tied up. It needs to be addressed. So you have, I can't pronounce it. I'll place it there. Jasper. And it's in the reverse. My life glides forward with ease. I am mindful. I think and act with positive energy. Again, remember, crown chakra, at the moment, Neptune is in your first house placement, but it's also crown chakra. Drink fluid. Keep hydrated. Don't drown yourself in it. Drink fluid because it clears it so that you can have your psychic downloads. Now, unlimited possibilities. Relax into the flow of a happy life. What goes around comes around. Attract goodness and love. So some of you might be feeling at a karmic nature you're dealing with arduous situations. And you're like, is this ever going to end? Yes, it is, but it's due to the fact that we had the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. We're having Mars go retrograde on the 9th, which links to your second house, which can be your self-esteem, the things you have at your disposition. It might be knocking you. It might be making you feel that you've done something wrong. And then you're coming to a psychic understanding that all good things come to an end. And it's not good things. It's like ending cycles. Is it working? Isn't it? You can't take onus of that. If it isn't, it isn't. It's like universe forces our hand, so to speak. So flow with it. You may have a perspective of something that isn't and is working. You also might be purging, leaking to that, and it's affecting your vibration. So if you feel you don't have the tools at your disposition, trust the process. You're going to have more coming at you, which will develop the second house. So in a retrograde effect, more energy comes to you. But what it's going to do is help you see something clear and also self-mastery. So if it's coming towards you, what you can do, how you can balance it, creating healthy boundaries, both with yourself and your throat chakra, of how you see things. Also, diet can come up because second house is self-esteem. Where's your sixth house? Leo. Any health-related dynamics? You're going to have Venus and Leo. You may have, if you felt like you fell off the bandwagon and you had a bit of toxicity or you were eating something that wasn't right for you and you felt sluggish due to lockdown energy, you're going to find that you're going to have more strength to deal with your diet-related aspects, your romance, the things that you want to do that are pleasurous, but just be careful of overeating. And if it has been an issue, it can come up into highlight due to emotions coming through. You'll be able to look at that and eat differently. So don't be surprised if you had indigestion and things to that degree. If it's coming up, it's there to transform that so that it can be shaped up and changed. Are we still all in the house, or is it cutting out? If it's cutting out, I'll leave this room. I might have to do a clearing again. So the ruin you have is such, and it links to Raven and it's Earth, looking at something from a very rational perspective. At the moment, we have Uranus and Taurus retrograde. It's hitting your third house. Your third house is linking to, it can be a vehicle, needing to upgrade your vehicle. It's local energy. It's trying to do things that are more pleasurous to your life. So if you are finding you're being more selective about what you're doing with your time, more rational and trying to run away from adverse energies, it's only natural. Now, the 8th house for you is Scorpio. No, Libra is the 8th house. So between now and October, I would feel that anything to do with the judgment, court cases, legalities can come up. If you're finalising paperwork, it's very important. And also to do with your extended travel and movement, it will be coming up in October as well. So anything that you're tying up, this links to homeland, astral property, family home, inheritance. 8th house is Libra. So if it's been arduous and something hasn't balanced out and you've been waiting to tie up all the loose ends, again, I am seeing between mid-September to October, these things can tie up in a sense of a karmic loose end. Let's see what's coming through for your general energy. Now, also, this is ancestor spirit, which has been coming through very largely for all my clients and through the readings, that at the moment, in a testing situation, you do have tribe actually protecting you on the other side. So they're trying to guide you through. They're helping you. If you're tapping into it and you're wondering what they would say, how they would deal with circumstances, if you've been abandoned, so to speak, no, they're actually watching over you and they're trying to help you with this current situation. You just aren't seeing that. So try and trust the process. Let's see, romance. It's been a very interesting month. Very. External too. Okay. Something's happening on the other person's side of the fence romantically. Let's tune into this. Okay. Some of you are wanting to go into hermit mode. You might not want to be around people. You're trying to find the deeper meaning of life. I do find others of you might also be wanting to shift. Now, in the previous position, this Aries energy, as I mentioned, Aries is hitting your second house placement of what you have. It's your self-confidence, it's your professional resources, it's your net worth. When we say net worth, it's your value systems. So it's where you shape those energies in your life because you're looking at that. And this is the card of Aries. Mars is hitting that placement too. So between now and the 9th, what you're going to find is these heavy themes are going to come up. You're looking at it. You're wondering who's working with you. You're wondering what to do moving forward. You're trying to psychologically and psychically understand what happened in the past and what to do to move forward. If you felt that you've been tuning into an individual, and this could be just relating to romance, some of you, this could be where it is, but this is the general energy overall, and then I'll link it into the rest of your read. It does feel, it's like you're not allowing yourself to actually, I'm hearing the term forgiveness. It's almost like it takes two to tango, and allowing what is supposed to be. Try not to take onus of other people's actions. You may be, even if you're not articulating it. So there seems to be a situation where either A, you feel a person is stuck in ego and they're not moving forward, or B, you're trying to come to terms with things. I do feel there's too much white noise, and what the white noise is relating to is maybe people's comments, people's feelings. With Aries and Chiron and Mars going retrograde, egoic experiences are coming through. We're also going to have Venus in Leo on the 6th. So don't be surprised if, yes, we do have strength, but we can potentially have an egoic experience connected to other people's connections and what they're doing and how they're using their power and strength. You might also really want to be quite independent at the moment. And some of you may actually be independent, but you're seeking that inside another individual where they're liberated, they're moving, and they're doing what they need to do. Where you're at, I feel you feel there's loss. It could be something to do with, again, give and take, finances, winning a battle, winning a situation. Could even be trying to comprehend how all of what is transpiring has actually done a 360. So it feels like a very confusing time for you. Again, I do feel your energy similar to Scorpio, sort of sitting there in awe of what on earth is going on. I do feel if there's been a conversation, you've either A, had to defend someone, or B, you're defending yourself. And I do feel you're really on guard. You're like, please don't judge me. But I do feel in general you're trying to understand everyone's perspective. But you do feel very protective at the moment, that you don't want to be attacked. And it might have been a commonality. And I'm feeling an older woman energy. This older woman energy, it might have been someone who's passed over. It could be somebody in the 3D. It feels as though there is an egoic belief system that is being kind of projected your way. There is a bit of jealousy there. This can even be it doesn't have to be an older person, but I'm really heavily, my guides are telling me, no, this is an older person. It could be a grandmother, a mother. Their perspective of life versus your perspective of life is two different paradigms. And it's not that either one's right or wrong. It was a time in space. Many of us are moving into a very new situation energetically with connections, and most connections over the last decade to 15, maybe even more, because we had such heavy Capricorn energy, connections, marriages, contracts, partnerships have been difficult. You've had to be deeply independent. You've had to level up. So the interconnection of family and tribe has been coming up in a very large way to help us realize we've lost touch. We've lost connection with certain things. We've dropped the ball because there was too much going on, not because we were not wanting to at the higher frequency. Okay, now you're going to have to take quite a strict approach moving forward, and this may be that you feel the energy is being quite strict on you, or your downloads are being. But it's wearing out. There is a situation wearing out. You do need to be careful of your health at the moment and fatigue due to Mars going retrograde, that you're not biting off more than you can chew. I just feel you don't want conflict. You just want a simple life. You're not wanting the conflict. Some of you, an anniversary of somebody that was unwell is coming up. And unwell, when I say that, because I'm sensing your guides, I do feel an anniversary for some of you is coming up. It could be a birthday. It could be a date of which the person passed, and you're looking at it. And again, you're reflecting back. There is some of you, it's a father energy also. It's really interesting. You guys, I think because of the 4D coming through, please clear your bedrooms. When I say that, how am I spacing it? I'm sensing that when we are super fatigued, when you're sleeping, we get stuck in 4D. So what happens is we go into the astral plane. But when we are very fatigued, our auric field is not there to protect us. So what happens is we can't go to the 8D, 5D. We're stuck in between. So Shelley and I were talking about this the other day. Waking up, feeling you're awake, bang, you realise you're not. You're stuck in the 4D. And this energy of a person, yes, good energies come through, but darker energies come through too. So be very careful of your sleeping state. So you can actually clear your room with a smudge stick. You can use protective crystals. You can put a bowl of water under your bed and discard it each day, so that it's taking that negative energy out. And if you've got any leaks or mold in the house, clean it, because the damp energy can bring darker energy in. Hi, beautiful. Let's look at your chart. Don't be surprised at the moment if you guys are upgrading technology. You have Gemini in the 4th house. Now, that's going to be there for 2.5 years. We've only just started the transit of it, and we've still got the old nodal energy that we're cycling out. So it's like we've got two whammies going. We're learning the new energy, overwhelming information. It might become more social. You might be staying more local to a degree, or moving a house so it's close to people that you love. You're wanting to be close. You're wanting to be in a tribe, so to speak. But you're also, Gemini is very social in nature. So if you do find that you're looking at your home and you're trying to organize it, don't be surprised if you're upgrading certain things like technology. It wouldn't surprise me during this transit. With your money, okay, let me look. If you need to deal with anything to do with money between now and October, if you're getting your books in order or you've been spending and it is due to emotions, go back and look at your fine print, because 11th house placement is Capricorn and we are having Jupiter go direct. That is on the 13th of September. Then in October, we are having Pluto going direct. So if you haven't got your books in order and you're thinking, oh, you've got time, please understand it's becoming very karmic in nature. Be careful of your expenses. Be careful what you're putting your money into. If you do feel you need to address certain things and tie up loose ends, make sure you do that. Try and not leave it for tomorrow if it's directly in your control, because there are some changes coming through in the career field. 6th house place. Yeah, and look, some of you may land a job of your dreams. Some of you are going to maybe turn a passion into a career. And it can be a side job, so to speak. But also looking at that, Leo in that placement. And, at the moment, largely, if you're getting fine print down and you're trying to organize a career sector for yourself, doing your bookkeeping, being perfectionist energy is coming through. Trying to do that is actually going to benefit you, but the most success you'll have is as we move forward, not necessarily right here, right now. It's foundational work. If it has been something that you've been working on for a long time, and it does feel it's more an old situation than a new situation for most of you, yes, the transformation's coming, but it's just keep plowing through and get it done. If you are in a workplace that you're not happy with, I do feel there might be a few delays, but ultimately, request help if you need to upskill or anything to that degree. If you're intuitively feeling, no, it's not the right time to leave this location, organize what you're going to do to move forward, to take the pressure off yourself, because the change of plans, in a sense, is knowing that something isn't working, not doing anything about it, and then getting to a point it's occurring without you being prepared. It's stay prepared, so to speak. So take it how it lands. With the people you're mixing with, let's have a look at, yes, okay. You might have more responsibilities, so don't be surprised this month if by the 13th, suddenly you're traveling quite a bit, you're doing more things, so to speak, you're being called upon to help family members, tribes, and your work energy. It might be very social. Anything you're wanting to do in a sense of hopes, dreams, and aspirations, understand that anything you've learned in the last few months with Saturn going direct, it's level up time. It's like, what can you take with you? What can't you? What are the responsibilities? Is it manageable? If it's not, this can't be maintained this way. Do what you can to create the balance, to simplify the task and work through any unresolved issues. It might be paperwork. It might be the planning, the fine, whatever it be. Get what you can get done. Do not delay. Because to a degree, if you know the frequency of it and you haven't plowed through it, or you haven't shared that aspect, so to speak, it is going to become very, very hard by mid-month if it's not addressed and you don't have that flow moving forward. Some of you, it can just be external people chucking their burdens on you and expecting you to pick the pieces up. And again, I would say, try to disown that. And if it's not your side of the fence, shift it back to where it belongs, hand it back. And just be very direct. Now, yeah, don't take on other people's jobs that you can't. And if you can't turn up to do something for someone, or you're not being able to effectively finish your target, so to speak, you need to actually communicate that and have that conversation. I don't think you're going to lose anything. I think it's just about time management. Now, family. Oh, God, okay. Between now and October, I do feel overall with tribe, you're really wanting a new start. You want fairness, you want balance. We currently have Juno in Libra. This card does relate to a fresh start and the zodiac sign Libra. It's also marriages, contracts, partnerships collectively. So if, with your tribe, we almost call the Mars retrograde energy the hero's journey. So from a masculine perspective and a feminine, it's like going through that energy. Fives is all about change. If something hasn't resolved, it's like, okay, what are we going to do about this? So this fresh start, if you can't sort other energies out, they need to deal with theirs. Whatever you've been working on, I do feel you're going to achieve the balance, and it will be by mid-September to October. But don't be surprised if there could be anything to do with the judgment that's going to need to be made within a tribe dynamic, or directly it could even be a legality connecting to it with the scales. Let's see what's coming up for love. Now, I don't know why, but the way my guides were asking me to pull the cards, there's something going on your love interest side of the fence. Be it together, you're in communication or not. That's how it's coming through to me. Now, you're trying to have courage to move forward, and I feel by the 13th, things are going to really amp up. So to do with your shared resources and to do with judgments and tribe energy, a major decision is going to be made. The funny thing is I was only asked to pull the collective energy and the energy linking to the love interest. They didn't want me to pull cards on your side because I do feel you know what you're doing. You might be second guessing it, but it's like something in their life is directly changing. Now, in the past, you've known this person's perspective, potential, energy, and it's also what you had been hoping something was, which is, a confident energy coming forward. But then again, I'm hearing the pause button was pulled. Now, again, because I mentioned the 13th, between the 6th and the 13th, there's something major going on in that pocket for you guys. We do have the sun energy here, and we are having Venus in Leo. So having the strength, also, give and take, reputation energy, health, pets, anything to that degree comes up for you guys in that place. But I'm also seeing, actually moving forward and having something to benefit out of this, having to have strength to deal with the situation. Also having to have a value system in place, because whatever you've been working through, it does feel like whether you're a male or a female, you've been taking on quite a masculine role. It's really tested your spirit, and there has been a situation, again, this has come up a few times now. This is a very tense situation that's at hand. So that the intensity of both with everything on the external and this within the connection, it's trying to correct things and balance them out so everyone's on the same page. I do feel you're being very protective of yourself. I do feel overall you're assessing the bigger picture and what the threats are, whether it's safe, what you're going to need to do to change these things. So again, I do feel a pause, but it's how do we bring this all together? And you're very protective of this at the moment. Yeah. Love is where you want to be. Home is where you want to be, but everything feels off for some reason. This can be for a group of you, or it could be you channeling your connections energy of something happening on their side of the fence. Now, on their side of the fence, there's going to be a massive upheaval. And the first thing I heard was Tower. The upheaval is this has been going on for a long time. Hi, Dale. And whatever this is, has really held everything stagnant. September's really the energy of where, especially counterpart energies, it's like they're actually getting the download. They're understanding what they're needing to do, and they're having to physically move forward. Let's pull some animal totem cards. What's happening on their side, please? Something feels like it's a pain in the neck. I'm also seeing for some of you, it's either them or you. Something to do with your eyesight and tension, like a headache, a third eye headache, psychic download, psychic attack. Turtle. That'll be right. Crowning energy. Yeah, it's like you've detached. This card is about stop trying to make something happen. It's like something is on somebody else's side of the fence. It can be meaning that the need for integration. Also needing to trust in your higher self, which is the second house, your self-esteem. And again, following your passions, doing things at a higher vibration. Something to do with what you're really wanting is coming through. It is moving, so don't underestimate yourself, please. I'm telling you, you're not asking you guys. Ask for what you need. Some of you are feeling guilty to actually articulate this to individuals around you, maybe because of a previous situation. You had an adverse outcome and you don't want to rock the boat, or you feel it's not your place. It's a really weird energy. But something is on the other person's side of the fence. You know the signs, but you may feel that they're not seeing things the same way. Owls have been coming up majorly. I do feel, especially with counterpart energy, it's almost like they're starting to trust in their intuition. They're tapping into it. And especially with you being Pisces in the crown chakra, you might have seen enough to understand how this is going to go. But you do feel really stuck. It's like you can't free yourself from a situation. This can also be, I'm going to pull 3 cards for any external. Now, this can be at a karmic nature. Thank you. Yeah, karmics are stuck. Right. Outcome, please. Yeah, this has been coming through in the reads too. So there is a pause with karmic situations. So it's like they're being stuck in the lower frequency, and that's all connected to this scenario until the lesson is acknowledged. Now, what the lesson is to deal with the heavy adverse energy. Dolphins can connect to tribe and family. Standing their ground, actually understanding their side of the fence. This is also to do with divine intervention, where a situation is playing out. The slowdown of counterparts energy is occurring to create serenity, getting their downloads, breathing, working through situations that then help each individual understand the power they have. But it is a karmic lesson in a sense. So try not to take right now what is going on. It is resolving. That's what I will say. It's coming up this month for resolve. For resolve and transformation. Any questions while I'm here? While I'm cleaning up this and I'll get ready to smudge them. It feels tense. It feels tense. Slightly frustrating. Headache. That's what I keep hearing. What a headache. Any questions in the house? We're so quiet. Or is it the reception today? I look like I've got my head chopped off. No questions? We're all sweet. I'm probably putting Shelley to sleep. Yeah, stay focused. Be on alert this month. Pay attention. Definitely, we're going to have... What day are we have? Okay, so on the 1st, we're having Venus in Cancer squaring Black Moon Lilith. What does that mean? Any tribe-related dynamics? we're having to face the reality of the shadow energy. So that's what I mean. It is dense energy. Then we have Mercury and Virgo sextiling Venus and Cancer. Communications to do with things, having to have that open communication. It is on the third, third house is communication. So having to have those conversations relating to these situations that just physically aren't working. Mars going retrograde will intensify for potentially a lot of masculines. It's not to say that feminines aren't feeling it, but this is why the importance of Tumberline is there, so that you're not tapping in psychically. You don't have to be near a person to tap into their energy for their ascension symptoms to be coming through psychically. So you do have to be careful how you tune into people. And I'm telling you, whatever this is, whoever these energies are around you, they're either egoic or they have a headache. I'm not yawning, so I don't feel they're terrible individuals. When I say terrible, intent to harm. Just very rigid in a perspective. And it's a bit frustrating and testing. Breathe. Okay. But anything to do with money, it's to do with belief systems, to do with scenarios of BS they've dealt with and maybe where they've been stuck. It can even be an old memory system that it's just, light bulb moment. Gee, this is what was affecting me. Bang. And it kind of is change is inevitable. Tower moments can be change is inevitable, but it's the tension building. As Giggle and I were talking about the tower, what it signifies, it's a blow up, right? It's like, whoa, something's just way too much. Mars energy. So that frequency is to do with, ruthlessness, degeneration, but it will be external. So the energy around you guys and other energies, it can be lower frequency, but you are protected, and you need to actually ask your guides to protect you, to give you signs and synchronicities. But again, know it inside. So when I say signs and synchronicities, you probably already know. Ultimately, when you see a sign and you already knew, you need to thank universe because you are connected, and then disconnect. Yes, I know, thank you. Yes, I know, thank you. Then you start trusting in your crown chakra and what you're sensing. Okay, I'm going to have a few second breaks, and we are going to come back and do, and the download I had was Virgo. It is because, next month is September is birthdays for Virgos as well. And, Libras. Anywho, I'll be back to do Virgo. We're going to try and plow through these. I'm going to do as many as I can. And either A tonight or B tomorrow morning. So I'm going to try and get all I can get done. Happy birthday to you. You're beautiful. I love you to bits, lady. I'll see you soon anyway. And I'll try and do a mid-month birthday extended, because what my intent is to have the join button, to do additional twin flame readings on there, to do additional birthday messages per month. So everything I'm doing at the moment behind the scenes is to prepare for YouTube moving forward. Okay? So I haven't left, I'm just hectic busy. Love and light.